Imagine this. 100 large pizzas every single day, for 16 hours straight. That's the dietary reality for a giant panda. We're in the misty mountain bamboo forests of central China, and this particular panda dedicates an astounding 67% of its waking hours just to eating. Evolution essentially looked at a carnivore's design and said, "You know what? Let's make it eat leaves." Scientists have studied this nutritional paradox for decades, still wrestling with the math. To grasp the scale, 38 kilograms of bamboo is like you eating 100 large pizzas daily, crust and all. What a caloric nightmare. Its digestive tract, evolved for meat, struggles with fibrous stalks, meaning only about 17% of nutrients are actually absorbed. This bear-shaped vegetarian enigma devours up to 38 kilograms of bamboo daily, a Herculean feat. It spends up to 16 hours each day on this relentless munching. Annually, this means consuming between 2,800 and 4,000 kilograms of bamboo. Their massive molars, twice the width of human molars, are built to pulverize tough fibers. Yet, despite this massive intake, its system extracts only about 17% of available nutrients. For comparison, a cow extracts around 60% from its diet. This means the panda expends 30% more energy chewing than it actually gains. To fuel its 90-kilogram body, its diet is 99% bamboo. And check this out. Its unique pseudo-thumb, which is an enlarged wrist bone, is adapted to grasp bamboo with incredible dexterity, allowing consumption rates of up to 1.5 kilograms per hour. Giant pandas have a digestive tract 10 to 15 times their body length, way shorter than you'd expect, actually more like a carnivore's. This means their food blasts through their system, sometimes in less than 10 hours, which really limits nutrient absorption. So, to make it work, pandas have these seriously powerful jaws, generating over 1,200 newtons of force, absolutely vital for crushing those tough bamboo stalks. They're picky, too, preferring specific species like Fargesia and Cinerundinaria, and their diet even changes with the seasons. Even with all this, they maintain a remarkably low metabolic rate, just 38% of a typical mammal their size, basically conserving energy wherever they can. Their gut microbiome is also surprisingly limited, carrying fewer specialized bacteria than true herbivores. It's kind of an evolutionary gamble, this relentless eating strategy, sacrificing efficient digestion for sheer volume. Think trying to build a house with just a hammer and expecting it to be super strong. It's a genuine survival paradox for these iconic bears. Their guts are truly a marvel, a testament to an eating habit that seems impossibly inefficient, and yet they thrive. "38 kilograms of bamboo a day. That's the sheer scale of this panda's culinary challenge. Their entire world, as this graphic shows, is locked away in China's remote mountain ranges. These aren't just woods. They're dense bamboo kingdoms, exclusive to high altitudes in Sichuan, Shaanxi, and Gansu provinces. Think of your entire supermarket stocked with only one kind of lettuce. That's the panda's daily menu. Their habitat is astonishingly precise, a niche defined by elevation and endless bamboo. Their lives are spent amidst the stalks, a constant, unavoidable presence. These misty slopes provide their food, their shelter, and their nurseries. This restricted territory means their survival is entirely dependent on the health of these particular bamboo forests. A single human misstep, a notable climate change, and their sole food source could disappear. It's a fragile life, sustained by a single static resource. They rarely venture far, clinging to these essential bamboo groves, a testament to extreme specialization. It's almost absurd, really. A giant panda needs 38 kilograms of bamboo every single day, which amounts to a 16-hour chewathon. Most people don't realize that these adults are intensely solitary, sharing direct contact for just a few days each year. Their incredibly demanding diet essentially forces this isolation. There's zero time for socializing when your existence is dedicated to eating for 16 hours. This life, dictated by chewing and territory marks, has led them to meticulously map out vast areas in the remote Sichuan mountains. They communicate through scent, leaving what are essentially biological billboards. Glands under their tails deposit a musky paste, acting like a complex QR code broadcasting who they are and their travels. One panda can mark its territory over 100 times daily, essentially announcing itself roughly every 14 minutes. Vocalizations are surprisingly rare, usually just 4 distinct calls for emergencies or warnings. Mating season offers the only brief exception, when these normally solitary animals seek out partners to continue their species. Females are fertile for an unbelievably narrow window, just 24 to 72 hours annually. Timing, then, is absolutely everything for them. During this extremely short, high-stakes reproductive window, males will compete, sometimes violently, for access to females. It's a pretty stark contrast to our own social lives, right? This relentless focus on foraging and territory leaves them with very little space for the casual interactions we take for granted. A newborn panda cub is astonishingly tiny, weighing less than a stick of butter. Evolution basically said, "More cute, less survivable, please." This delicate, blind, helpless creature is totally dependent from day one. Panda mothers typically give birth to 1 or 2 cubs, but rarely raise both, prioritizing the stronger one for survival. The mother provides constant warmth and stimulation, licking her tiny cub to encourage crucial bodily functions within the den. For the first month, she barely leaves the den, spending nearly 100% of her time nurturing and protecting her offspring. That's pretty intense. At around 45 days, the cub develops its distinctive black and white fur. Around 60 days old, the cub's eyes finally open, and by 90 days it begins taking its first wobbly steps outside. Cubs remain almost entirely dependent for approximately 6 months, relying solely on her milk. Around 6 to 8 months, the cub gradually starts to incorporate bamboo into its diet, mimicking its mother. After months in the den, the cub explores its surroundings with clumsy curiosity. A young panda reaches full independence around 18 months of age, ready for its solitary life. The intensive mother-cub bond lasts about 2 years, an extraordinary commitment. Pandas have an incredibly narrow breeding window. Females are fertile for only 24 to 72 hours once a year. Infant mortality is high. 50% of cubs in the wild do not survive their first year. Evolution. Brutal. Imagine that level of vulnerability. "8 million years ago, a bear ancestral to the panda ate meat. The timeline of the giant panda's evolution reveals a surprising shift from its carnivorous ancestors. Around 8 million years ago, a pivotal evolutionary branch led to Ailurochtos, the first known bear species to incorporate bamboo into its diet. This was a radical, unhinged change. It's not every day evolution decides a bear should eat grass. This dramatic dietary shift coincided with a genetic mutation, specifically involving the T1R1 taste receptor gene, impacting their ability to detect savory meat flavors. While retaining a carnivore's digestive system, pandas functionally lost the T1R1 gene's savory taste receptor approximately 4.2 million years ago. Meat was no longer appealing. Like choosing salad over steak. Evolution looked at a bear that needed vast amounts of low-nutrient plant matter and said, "Yes, this is fine." Absolutely not unhinged at all. To compensate, pandas developed a unique pseudo-thumb, an enlarged wrist bone, allowing them to precisely manipulate up to 12 bamboo stalks at once. This grip is unparalleled. Imagine trying to hold a dozen pencils in one hand, but it's fibrous plants. Their powerful jaw muscles allow them to exert a biting force of over 290 pounds per square inch, easily crushing tough bamboo fibers. That's a serious crunch, like trying to bite through a baseball bat. Unlike true herbivores with long digestive tracts, pandas still possess a relatively short, carnivore-like gut, only 10 to 15 times their body length. This leads to inefficiency, like a sports car with a go-kart engine. Their digestive efficiency is remarkably low, absorbing only around 20% of the nutrients from the vast quantities of bamboo consumed daily. Pandas have olfactory bulbs 40 times larger than ours, making us practically nose-blind. This isn't just about sniffing flowers. It's their built-in GPS. It lets them pick up faint scent markings, like urine or glandular secretions, from over 2 kilometers away. That's essential for signaling territory or mating readiness in dense mountain bamboo forests. Forest communication is a silent, fragrant language. And speaking of subtle, imagine hearing a single bamboo stalk creak from 100 meters off while you're trying to nap. Panda life can be surprisingly serene, a kind of natural asthma. Their brains weigh about 100 grams, not huge, but precisely tuned for their needs. Efficiency, not brute force. While they don't build structures, individual pandas are surprisingly good at problem solving. They instinctively figure out the best angle to strip bamboo or navigate tricky forest paths. Their sense of smell is 1,000 times more sensitive than a human's, key to recognizing individuals across their territory. They can detect scent marks of peers up to 48 hours later, a tracking feat that makes our noses seem like an afterthought. Problem solving for a panda often means finding the most nutrient-rich bamboo, which requires remembering specific forest patches and their seasonal growth. They have impressive spatial memory, recalling prime bamboo groves across territories spanning 4 to 6 square kilometers. Creepy, right? Their sharp hearing also catches subtle bamboo rustles from 50 meters away, way beyond our range. This heightened sense helps them locate cubs in dense vegetation or sense approaching predators. Communication uses specific sounds. A sheep-like bleat for contact or growls warning of threats. Evolution looked at this and said, yes, more. A panda's bite force hits with 500 psi, crushing bamboo like twigs. That's 10 times stronger than your average human bite. How does a creature so dedicated to bamboo wield such power? Pandas are not just gentle herbivores. They're surprisingly well defended. When threatened, their formidable bite, rivaling a polar bear's, acts as a potent deterrent. This immense jaw strength is crucial for processing tough bamboo and for defense. Imagine having the crushing power to shatter bone, all in an animal that spends 16 hours a day eating. But defense isn't just about brute force. Despite their bulky frame, pandas are agile climbers, ascending trees up to 20 meters high in mere seconds. That's like climbing a 6-story building in under 30 seconds. Most humans couldn't do that, even with a running start. Their semi-retractable claws, up to 7 centimeters long, offer an incredible grip for these rapid ascents. So what advantage does this climbing offer? Their iconic black and white fur, often seen as endearing, is actually a clever evolutionary tool. In the dappled light of their high-altitude bamboo forests or against snowy mountain backdrops, this coloration provides disruptive camouflage. It breaks up their outline, making them surprisingly hard to spot for predators. While they might seem obvious to us, their pattern mimics patchy light, effectively hiding them. When cornered, a panda's defense gets even more active. They can stand tall, emitting bellows as loud as 90 decibels, comparable to a jackhammer. They'll also use their powerful forelimbs, equipped with sharp claws for swift, damaging swipes. This combination of crushing bite, arboreal agility, and startling vocalizations makes the panda a surprisingly formidable animal. It's an absurdly effective survival package honed over millions of years. A giant panda devours 38 kilograms of bamboo daily, consuming 16 hours of their lives. Their existence is a relentless cycle of eating, broken only by short naps. They spend a mere 4 to 6 hours moving, often just ambling between food sources. Honestly, you probably move more just getting your coffee. This sedate lifestyle means pandas avoid high-energy activities, impacting how they socialize and escape danger. Their days unfold at a decidedly unhurried pace. Their basal metabolic rate is remarkably low, only 38% of what you'd expect for an animal their size. Evolution, it seems, took a siesta. This energy-saving strategy, however, allows them to live a relatively long life, 15 to 20 years in the wild, and up to 30 in captivity. Their days are an endless loop of munching, punctuated by brief sleeps. Scientists aren't entirely sure how they manage it all. Bamboo's low nutrition forces this constant feeding, the equivalent of you eating 100 stalks of celery every single day. Each day, a panda dedicates up to 12 hours just to chewing, processing tough bamboo. Just think about that dental bill. This relentless schedule leaves almost no time for socializing, usually just 2 to 4 days a year for mating. And the bamboo? It passes through their short, carnivore-like digestive tract in only 8 to 12 hours. Your own system is far more efficient. This rapid transit means pandas extract a mere 17% of the nutrients from their fibrous diet, essentially wasting most of it. Their gut bacteria are still geared for meat, leaving them in a perpetual state of mild starvation. Evolution, you had one job. The giant panda's status was upgraded in 2021, moving from endangered to vulnerable, a testament to conservation success. Wild panda numbers climbed by almost 17% over a decade, now exceeding 1,800 individuals. China's commitment is clear. 67 panda reserves now safeguard over half their habitat and 70% of the wild population. It's a phenomenal turnaround, pushing their numbers from 1,596 in 2004 to 1,864 by 2014. Consider this. That's like adding 20% to the population of a mid-sized city in just 10 years. But the fight isn't over. Human expansion continues to fragment their homes, threatening 30% of the remaining territory. Climate change also poses a serious risk, potentially shrinking bamboo forests by 35% in 80 years. That's a devastating blow, akin to losing almost half your regular food supply. Yet, conservation efforts resonate globally, with over 20 zoos worldwide actively participating in breeding programs and contributing millions to the cause. These creatures are undeniable icons, generating an estimated $200 million annually for China through tourism and influence. Their famous panda diplomacy, the practice of loaning pandas to other nations, builds invaluable international goodwill. Even their biology, like the gene behind their preference for bitter tastes, offers crucial insights. Scientists have mapped their entire genome, revealing over 20,000 genes that have helped them survive for millions of years. Despite their famously slow pace, they've evolved ingeniously. A single panda devours 38 kilograms of bamboo daily, the equivalent of a human eating 100 large pizzas every single day, playing a vital role in global conservation.